Okay, approximate each square root to 2 decimal places. Now notice in this case we're being asked to approximate because these are not perfect squares. Meaning if you look at the square root of 60, you're thinking what number squared is 60? I can tell you this: 7 times 7 is 49, 8 times 8 is 64, 60 is between 49 and 64, so I know the square root is between 7 or 8, but it's not a perfect square. So when this happens, I want you to take out your calculator and just write in there 60 square root it. The square root of 60 is 7.7459666692. This decimal number goes on forever. My calculator can only fit that many, but this is never going to stop. So the square root of 60, when we tell you to approximate it to 2 decimal places, we basically want you to look at 7.74, and since the next number is 5 or more, we're going to round it off to 7.75. So the square root of 60, I'm going to put little squiggly lines. It means approximately 7.75. It's an approximate. We know that's not exact, because if I take 7.75 and square it with my calculator, 7.75 times 7.75, notice I don't exactly get 60 because I had to round up. I'm going to be off a little bit, but we just want you to approximate it. Whenever you get a situation where they're not perfect squares, like here, we want you to approximate it in this class. In the next class, we'll show you to do something else. This next one says, what's the square root of 35? Again, it's not a perfect square. 6 times 6 is 36. It's close, so we know the answer is going to be close to 6. But it's not a perfect square, so I got to get my calculator, take the square root of 35. It's 5.91, but because this is 5 or more, we're going to round it off to 5.92. It's an approximate. It's not exactly. We're just rounding it off. This is what you'll do when they're not perfect squares in this class.